So we'll begin by adopting a stable, comfortable, upright position serviceable for meditation. So we think about making sure that we're keeping our feet flat and our back straight. Our torso is open. Hands in the lap, right over left, with the palms upturned and the thumbs gently touching. Our eyes are gently closed or slightly open, making sure we let in enough light to remain alert. We try to maintain an awareness of not slouching or leaning. We also let go of any unnecessary tension or rigidity in the body, relaxing into a stable, comfortable, upright position. Begin to let go of attending to the environment, allowing sights and sounds to be as they are without investigation. Constraining our awareness just to the body and mind. Concentrating that awareness in the present by attending closely to the physical sensation of the air moving into and back out of the tip of the nostrils. Noticing quickly when anything other than that one physical sensation is arising in the mind, and without judgment or frustration, lifting our awareness up from those distractions and placing it gently but firmly again and again on the breath. And when the mind feels more calm, generate a broad and altruistic motivation for your time, intentionally widening your circle of concern, embracing countless sentient beings, and thinking of the need to engage in a process of genuine inner transformation for their benefit. the need to cultivate positive, constructive states of mind, states of mind that give rise to actions that naturally and spontaneously benefit others. The need to reduce the influence of destructive states of mind that naturally give rise to actions that cause harm to others. Seeing this as how we're able to be of benefit to sentient beings. And then with that motivation, we will return to the contemplation of generating bodhicitta using the method of exchanging self for other. So the last couple of contemplations that we engaged in on this topic dealt with understanding the disadvantages of cherishing the self, putting one's own interests, desires above those of all others, the advantages of cherishing others, and then the ways in which I could prioritize the needs of others. And the next step in the process is using the method of Tonglen to develop a strong, stable compassion and love for sentient beings. Compassion is the wish for oneself and all other sentient beings to be completely free of suffering and its causes. So we begin Tonglen with that aspect. So we begin by contemplating the sufferings of others. The suffering of these kind mother sentient beings. There are various ways that you can engage in that contemplation. You can bring to mind the various sufferings that you're able to witness in the human and animal realms, or you can expand, thinking about the specific sufferings of each realm of existence, even those that we're not able to witness directly. So pick whichever method you think is effective and not overwhelming. But spend time contemplating the ways in which sentient beings meet with suffering again and again. Imagine that these suffering sentient beings are surrounding you in all directions, and the various sufferings that they experience are visualized like a pollution surrounding them. And concentrate on your compassionate wish for them to be free of these sufferings. And then think that due to the force of that compassionate wish, this suffering, this mass of suffering in the form of that pollution begins to be lifted from these sentient beings. It becomes drawn off and drawn toward oneself as an expression of one's willingness to take on the sufferings of sentient beings. Visualize a dark seed, a sesame seed, at the heart center, and this pollution is magnetized, drawn in, funneling faster and faster, absorbing into this dark seed, which becomes more and more dense. Trying to stay with the visualization, even if a sense of unease arises. And imagine that the density of the dark seed becomes such that it implodes and is replaced by an orb, a larger orb of golden white light at the heart center. I think that this represents your capacity for enlightenment. and that from that energy and due to your wish for sentient beings to not only be free of suffering, but to also be perfectly happy, to have all conducive inner and outer conditions that rays of light extend toward these sentient beings, providing them with all temporary and ultimate sources of genuine happiness, contentment, bliss, satisfaction. Imagining that in detail, and then generate the thought of universal responsibility, thinking that I cannot rely on other sentient beings to make good on my own interest, that sentient beings be free of suffering and be truly happy. That in order to bring this about, I must dedicate myself to establishing those causes and conditions, taking personal responsibility for enacting the welfare of sentient beings. And then finally generate the mind of bodhicitta, recognizing that the only way in which sentient beings can be truly happy and can be truly free of suffering, which is what I want for them and what I have taken responsibility to establish, is if sentient beings achieve enlightenment. And in my present state, under the influence of delusion and contaminated karma, I'm unable to truly enact their welfare. So I must achieve my own enlightenment so that I can make good on my promise to sentient beings. I must dedicate my life to the attainment of my enlightenment solely in order to use that enlightenment to be of benefit and lead sentient beings to their enlightenment. So think in that way until that resolve dawns strongly in the mind. And then when you're ready, we'll come back together. And we'll dedicate. So recollect the altruistic motivation that you established and think that by having engaged in this contemplation, you've actualized that motivation, which has created positive energy in the mind. Think that you freely offer the fruit of your practice for the benefit of all sentient beings without exception. Thinking may that positive energy serve as a cause and condition to eliminate war and conflict, poverty, famine, disease, disasters, all painful inner and outer conditions. May it fully ripen the minds of all sentient beings. May they quickly meet perfect teachers and arise in the state of full enlightenment. May I too achieve the state of enlightenment in order to work for the benefit of sentient beings perfectly. May any obstacles facing the Guru's long life be completely dispelled, and may I and all sentient beings in this moment come under the joyful care and guidance of enlightened beings. May we be guided and protected until we swiftly achieve that state of enlightenment. Thank you.